Students and mentors, scientists and engineers, robot fans of all ages, please welcome first alum and your MC, Sam Zanti.
Good morning, everybody. How are you feeling today? Welcome to the 2025 Finn Lafayette District event and this year's challenge, Reefscape, presented by Haas. Reefscape is a part of our ocean-inspired season, First Dive, presented by Qualcomm. Qualcomm is a proud partner to First to inspire students to make waves with your innovations and transform into confident leaders. A big thanks to Qualcomm for nearly 20 years of support and for investing in your future. And we're very excited to partner with our Reefscape season presenting sponsor, the Gene Haas Foundation. As a lead CNC manufacturer, Haas knows the skills you develop this season create success. Whether it's helping you prepare for today's game action, an F1 race, or exploring the depths of the ocean, Haas is proud to support FIRST robotics competition teams around the world. We want to highlight our statewide partners here in Indiana who make our local events possible. A big thank you to Toyota Motor Manufacturing Indiana, Salesforce, Argosy Foundation, Andy Mark, and Carrier. A big thanks to all our donors, from largest companies to small businesses, and individual donors who support our events and teams every single season. We really couldn't do it without you. This event would not be possible without the support from our host teams 1646 and 461. We want to thank them for all of their hard work in making this event a reality. We also want to give a special and super heartfelt thank you to the Tippecanoe County Fairgrounds. Without their incredible support, this event simply would not have been possible. Their staff has gone above and beyond to assist our event organizers, especially after unexpected setbacks. Let's give them a huge round of applause. This weekend, we will be sharing our space with two other events. Both Midwest Rentals and the fan favorite Lafayette Reptile Expo have graciously adjusted their plans to accommodate our competition. We want to extend a huge thank you to both groups for their gracious professionalism and flexibility when working with us. With that in mind, we ask all teams to be considerate of their spaces and remain courteous at all times. Let's represent the FIRST community with the same professionalism and respect that we bring to the competition field. Just as our community comes together to support one another, we are grateful for the sponsors who make events like this possible. Today, we'd like to highlight one of our statewide sponsors, Stratasys. As a global leader in 3D printing and additive manufacturing, Stratasys helps drive innovation across industries, from healthcare to aerospace. They have generously contributed funding to First Indiana Robotics and are also providing support to FTC teams advancing to the World Championship. Their commitment to empowering the next generation of STEM leaders is making a real impact. Please welcome First alum and medical business manager at Stratasys, Evan Hochstein.
Good morning, everybody. Sam, thank you so much for that kind introduction. As she said, my name is Evan Hochstein, and I am incredibly excited to be here with all of you today. This is a beautiful facility that we have access to for this event, and I'm loving it so far. First has been a huge part of my life. I first joined this program as a student on FRC Team 2470 out of Bloomington, Minnesota. And since then, I've stayed involved as a mentor, a volunteer, and currently I am mentoring FRC Team 461, West Side Boiler Invasion, just across the river from here. I'm also here today representing Stratasys, a company that believes in the power of innovation, creativity, and the values that make FIRST so special. And standing here, looking out at all of you, I can't help but feel inspired because I know that in this room we have future engineers, educators, scientists, financiers, problem solvers, and leaders who are going to change the world. But let's talk about something even bigger than technology. Let's talk about what makes FIRST truly different. The late Dr. Woody Flowers taught us that success is not just about winning. It's about how we win. He introduced us to the idea of gracious professionalism, the notion that we can be fierce competitors and still respect and support one another. And cooperation, the belief that we rise higher when we lift others up. These values aren't just nice words. They are what make FIRST more than a competition. They make it a community. And that's why FIRST matters. It's not just about robots. It's about the teamwork, the perseverance, and the willingness to tackle challenges head on, just like professionals in industry do every single day. It's about knowing that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a step toward it. At Stratasys, we see that same spirit in the world of manufacturing and design. Every day, we work with engineers, makers, and dreamers who use 3D printing to push boundaries. And we see that same drive, that same passion in all of you. Because you're not just building robots, you're building the future. As a mentor, I get to see students push through challenges, help each other, and create solutions that professionals would admire. And I have no doubt that the lessons you're learning here today, this weekend, collaboration, innovation, and resilience will stay with you long after your time in FIRST. Woody Flowers believed that we could build a better world, not just by being great engineers, but by being great people. And from where I'm standing, looking out at all of you, I have no doubt that his vision is alive and well. So go out there, compete fiercely, innovate boldly, and above all, support each other, because that is what makes FIRST truly different. Thank you, good luck, have fun, and let's make this another unforgettable competition. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to Evan and Stratus for all their support. Now it's time to recognize our volunteers in the blue shirts. Please welcome the judges, led by Judge Advisor and FIRST alum, Jose Cabral. The judges want to hear your stories, your successes, and challenges. This is a distinguished group from companies and organizations where you may want to work someday, so go network. Judges, thank you for your time and efforts. You've got a difficult task with this awesome and competitive group of teams. There's another group of volunteers to get to know here on the playing field. Their job is to ensure fair play, enforce the rules, and to help all teams compete intensely while remembering their gracious professionalism. Their rulings are final, and there will be no video reviews. Please welcome your referees, led by head referee and FIRST alum, Hope O'Connor. Here at the event, we'd like to make sure you and your team have a safety plan. Mentors, please communicate your safety plan and a designated meeting point to your teams. Please locate the note the location of the emergency exits. There is a fire extinguisher here at the scoring table and at the pit admin table where you can also find our first aid station. We have one award which recognizes an individual student and not a team. It's the Dean's List Award. Dean's List nominees, please stand, and now let's give them a round of applause for all these students and their hard work on their teams. Thank you for being such terrific leaders. As always, let's make sure that everything that you do at the tournament reflects gracious professionalism. The nominees for the Woody Flowers Finalist Award, which was created in honor of Woody Flowers, the originator of gracious professionalism, will be honored during this weekend's award ceremonies. Throughout the competition, please maintain Woody's legacy by acting with gracious professionalism. Mentors and coaches, you are critical to the first experience. You help set the culture at first and are a part of the far-reaching support system we've built for students around the world who are realizing their dreams. A big thanks to all the mentors and coaches for your dedication and effort on behalf of all FIRST programs. Finally, some venue housekeeping and safety reminders before we get started. Roundtables will be held in the Volunteer Lounge this afternoon. Please stop by and learn about other teams and interact with our Finn community. Take a moment now to note the times and themes for the roundtables. Safety is everybody's responsibility, so please help us keep walkways and exits clear. If you see something unsafe, please correct the issue immediately or ask pit admin for help. It's important for everyone to have a safe, supportive, and enjoyable time here. If anything or anyone is making you feel uneasy, don't hesitate to reach out to a trusted adult for assistance. Please find an event manager in a bright blue polo or ask someone with a radio to call one for you if you need assistance. The FIRST community cares for one another, so if you notice someone who seems to be having a tough time, take a moment to check in and see how you can lend a hand. Together, we can ensure that this event is safe and fun for everyone. Before we power up the robots, please welcome the Team 71 Choir for the National Anthem. Alrighty, everybody. Are you ready to play Reefscape? Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start powering up our robots and start the competition. The other voices you'll be hearing this weekend is our game announcers. Please welcome first alumni Brenna Porritt, Bryce Castle, and Kaya Webb. Okay. Alrighty, everybody, it's time to meet our first match of teams. We're going ahead and starting on our first Red Alliance on the event. Our first team is Team 292.
With students from Rocheville, Indiana, it's Panther Tech.
And with them partnering up on the Red Alliance is Team 10172.
Hailing from Southside High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana, it's Apex Archers.
And rounding out our Red Alliance, sportingly fitting their alliance color, it's Team 10029.
Sponsored by Cleveland Cliffs, the Argosy Foundation, Portage Township Education Foundation, it's the Portotypes.
Making our way over to our Blue Alliance side of the field, our first team is slicing away at the competition. It's Team 9071.
They're here with the robot Rock Lobster. It's Slicer Tech.
And hoping to fly away with a victory here, it's Team 1529.
Hailing from Indianapolis, Indiana, with students from Southport High School, it's the Cyber Cards.
And rounding out our fantastic Blue Alliance, it is Team 4580.
Proudly sponsored by Ben Davis High School Area 31 Career Center, Fastenal, and Buckeye Conjugate, it's the Conductors.
Alrighty, Lafayette, are we ready to begin our first qualification match? Yeah, let's do it. Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, Reefscape.
The robots are autonomous and complete the pre-program for the first 15 seconds. 292, the Panther Tech moving off that starting line and getting points for their alliance. The autonomous is the only point in the game where you get points for movement alone. All 6 robots appear to have crossed that black tape line. And we'll get 3 points for each. Teams hoping to place a coral somewhere on their reef to get that ranking point. Red Alliance appears to have done so successfully. The remaining 2 minutes and 50 seconds is all tele-operated. Human players pick up their controllers to drive the robot their team built over the last 9 weeks. 292 Panther Tech from Mooster in DeVille, Indiana, successfully placing a coral on the top part of the reef, getting 5 points for their alliance. 9071 Slicer Tech hoping to do the same, but they need to remove those algae, which are those teal spheres around the field of play, to open up additional game piece scoring opportunities for their alliance partners. Team 10-029, the Prototypes, one of our rookie teams this season, has unique double-wheeled grab mechanisms that allows them to remove those algae pieces. There's lots of places for folks to score those pieces in the field of play, either scoring directly. Good job, Slicer Tech, rewriting their robot and getting on with the events, continuing to manipulate their game pieces to score them around the field of play. Those white 2 pieces are called coral, and those teal spheres are known as algae. Teams will pick up additional coral pieces from their human player station, known as the Coral Station. Team 4580, the conductors, demonstrating that beautifully now. One of Blue Alliance passing it over into the processor. That's one of the 2 ways to score algae in this year's game. Passing it over to their opponents. Their opponents get an opportunity to score, and then goes into the barge, which is that netted area towards the center of the field. There's lots of symbols on the audience display. There's that coral reef. Teams making their way and filling up the reef to gain points there. There's also that meatball icon, which is for their scoring algae, either in the barge or processor. We'll have to see if that continues to evolve throughout this weekend's game. With 33 seconds remaining in the match, score is currently 30-53 in favor of the Alliance. Here at just 20 seconds remaining, we'll hear that sonar ping sound. Here it is. That means we'll start to see robots making their way over to their cages. Again, the longer the chain, the more points they'll gain. They do need to be elevated off the ground to get all those bonus points available for their alliance. Blue Alliance preparing for multiple elevations at the score. Red seeking in a couple more scores before that time winds down. 2-1, and that's all we have. Qualification match 1 here at the Finn District Lafayette event. Stick tight for those scores. And let's look at your scores for qualification match 1. Your winners are the Red Alliance. Red Alliance taking it with a score of 76 to Blue Alliance's 58. Red Alliance walking away with 4 ranking points. There's 3 trophy icons for winning, and that 1 robot icon for their work in autonomous. Blue Alliance not walking home empty-handed. They'll get that boat shape icon for their work in the end game. Stick tight for qualification match 2.
While we wait for our robots for qualification match 2, if you're unfamiliar with the game, please turn your head to the screen while we watch the game animation for Reefscape.
Welcome to the 2025 First Robotics Competition game, Reefscape, presented by Haas. 2 alliances of 3 teams each compete to earn points by harvesting algae, seeding coral on their reef, and returning to their barge to ascend to the ocean's surface. Alliances earn additional rewards for meeting specific scoring thresholds and for cooperating with their opponents. Prior to the start of the match, teams can choose to hang a shallow cage or a deep cage on their barge. Robots start each match at their starting line and may be preloaded with 1 coral. During the first 15 seconds of the match, robots are autonomous and can be programmed to leave the starting line, remove algae from their reef, and place coral on their reef. If all enabled robots on an alliance leave the starting line and score at least one coral in auto, the alliance earns the auto ranking point. During the following 2 minutes and 15 seconds of the match, drivers control their robot. Robots can place algae in their net and collect coral from human players at their coral station to place on their reef. Coral placed higher on the reef are worth more points. If an alliance can score enough coral on all 4 levels, they will earn an additional ranking point. Robots can also deliver algae to their processor. Once processed, the algae can be taken by the opposing human player and scored into the net. When 2 algae are delivered to each processor, both alliances earn a co-op point. The co-op point reduces the number of coral needed on the reef to earn the ranking point and influences a team's rank in the tournament. As time runs out, robots race back to their barge to hang on their cage and ascend to the ocean surface. Points are awarded to robots that can hang on a shallow cage, and even more points are awarded to robots that can hang on a deep cage. An alliance that scores enough barge points will earn the barge ranking point. The alliance that earns the most points overall wins the match.
Alrighty, everybody. With that, let's introduce our teams. Starting off on the Red Alliance, we have a team celebrating their 30th season with first. It's Team 71.
With students from Hammond Area Career Center in Hammond, Indiana, it's Team Hammond.
And partnering up with them, hoping for an out-of-this-world alliance, it is Team 4926.
They're here to ignite, involve, and impact. It's Galactech.
And rounding out our Red Alliance for this match, it is Team 9431.
Proud sponsored by Fort Wayne Medical Informatics Engineering, Indiana Department of Education, Don Woods Foundation, IMMAC, and American Electric Power. It's Gold Standard.
And over on the blue side of the field, our first team is Team 9530.
Their robot's name is Sillybot. It's John Adam Robotics.
And blazing away with them is Team 7617.
Proudly sponsored by Micro Commercial Components, Sims, System Robotics, Fanfare Tickets, and Haggard Stocking, it's Robo Blazers.
And with them hoping to cause some pandemonium, it's Team 1747.
Across the river in West Lafayette, Indiana, it's Harrison Boiler Robotics.
Our thumbs up on the field. Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1. Reefscape.
First 15 seconds and completely programmed and autonomous, just as per usual. Team 71, Team Hannon working hard and placing that coral and getting rid of that algae from their scoring station. 49-26, Galactech successfully placing 2 of those corals on the top. The Red Alliance shorting them. Blue Alliance not to be outdone, getting those points for movement alone and scoring on the reef. Both of those teams should get that autonomous ranking point. The remainder of the 2 minutes and 15 seconds is all tele-operated as human players pick up their controllers and drive the robots that their team built over the last 9 weeks. Team 9431 Gold Standard, they're one of our Fort Wayne teams working with a lot of rookies this year to prepare them for this season, and they're definitely appreciative of that. Team 9530 John Adams Robotics sporting wildly made bumpers featuring both their team logo and additional criteria. Team 7617 Robo Blazers has been sporting their swerve drive mechanism throughout their first match. This is the first time they've seen the Reefscape field, and they're ready to show the competition what they've got. 90 seconds remaining in the match. Score is currently 53-53. It's all tied up in the remainder of the time to break that. We'll see on just which way this falls. Team 1741 Harrison Boiler Robotics picking up game pieces using their unique spike mechanism. Just one green compliance wheel and a black joining object allows them to precisely place on their field. One of their opponents, 46-26, making use of a 3D printed design to allow for precise location of those game pieces before they place them on their coral reef. Blue Alliance just shy of filling up all of the top part of their worth. Each of those worth 5 points for its alliance. Score is currently 77-80, only a 3-point difference. Team 71, Team Hammond, going directly for a score into the barge, scoring 4 points for their alliance. Many teams bypassing the processor, as that does give points to their opponents. With 24 seconds remaining, we'll hear that sonar ping. Here it is. That means we'll start to see teams make their way over to that barge and get elevated off the ground. Again, the longer the chain, the points they'll gain. They do need to have no ground contact 5 seconds after the match. Team 49-26, Galactic appears to be off the ground. Their opponents need to join them for those additional barge points, and that's all we have for qualification match 2 here at the Finn District Kokomo event. The Red Alliance taking a score of 112-89. That will be a tough high score to beat. They're walking away with 4 ranking points, 3 for winning and 1 for their hard work in the barge, going over that 16 barge rank threshold. Blue Alliance getting their work for their autonomous points. Stick tight for qualification match 3.
Good morning, Lafayette. The Lafayette Planning Committee would like to invite you to go show some love to our food trucks. The food trucks are parked outside of team dining. There are 2 doors for you to be able to walk out of. There's a coffee truck, and there are multiple options for lunch. Please go support them as they are supporting us. Thank you. Alrighty, guys, before we introduce our teams for this match, everybody go ahead and turn your heads to the screen. We have our roundtable schedule for this event going to be posted up there for you guys. Please try to go to those roundtables. They're a really great opportunity for you guys to learn a little bit more about FIRST and join some communities. And yeah, please try to make it to those. Alrighty, everybody, it's time to introduce our teams. Going ahead and starting off on our Red Alliance, our first team, Readily and Royal, it is Team 135.
Hailing from Mishawaka, Indiana, it's the Penn Robotics Black Knights.
Hoping to be precisely what the Red Alliance needs, it's Team 3176.
With students from Brownsburg High School, it's Purple Precision.
And rounding out our Red Alliance, it is Team 5402.
Proudly sponsored by IMMAX Small Parts, Cass County Community Foundation, and Ivy Tech, it's Reckless Robotics.
And as we move our way under the barge, making our way over to our Blue Alliance, the first team that I'm seeing over here is ready to rumble. It is Team 447.
They're a family community team from Anderson, Indiana. It's Team Roboto.
And with them is one of our rookie teams, Team 10434.
Hailing from Fort Wayne, Indiana, with the robot tardigrade, it's Cyber Bears.
And sporting the GOAT, because maybe they are the GOAT, it's Team 829.
Proudly sponsored by DoD STEM, Motorola Solutions, the Gene House Foundation, Bear Fun, and Colors Incorporated, it's the Digital Goats.
Alrighty, we are ready to go on the field. Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, rescape.
First 15 seconds completely autonomous as teams move around with their pre-programmed instructions. Team 829 Digital Ghosts, typically a high performer during this time, just shy of missing their coral station, but they'll continue to move around. Team 135, the Penny Robotics Black Knights, trying to match them with that placement, but just shy as running out of time. The remainder 2 minutes and 15 seconds is all tele-operated. Human player pick up the controllers and drive the robots that their team built over the last 9 weeks. Team 10-4-34 continuing to place game pieces on the bottom part of that trough. still worth 2 points for their alliance, and that simple design will keep them going throughout most of this match. Still a useful contributor to their team scores. Team 3176 Purple Precision continue to place game pieces on the top part of their reef, worth 5 points for their alliance. Teams typically filling up the top part of that reef before moving down. They will have to get rid of that algae to open up additional scoring pieces. Red Alliance sending one of their robots across the field. That's Team 5402 Reckless Robotics. Recognizing that they got a stuck game piece, they aren't able to hold any additional coral, so they've now gone on the defensive with some bumper-and-bumper action, which is allowed as long as that contact time is kept to a minimum and done outside the coral reef protected zones. Team 447, Team Roboto, known in Indiana for being able to score their algae directly into the barge, which appears to be what they're lining up for, would be worth 4 points for their alliance if they're successful, which appears that they were. Just under a minute remaining in the match. Score is currently 49-46 in favor of the Red Alliance. Only a 3-point difference. That's a game piece score just about anywhere on the Reefscape field. Checking in on one of our favorite Blue Alliance robots, teams 829. This is the Digital Goats from Indianapolis, Indiana, continuing to monitor their opponents' robots to make sure they're staying outside of those protected areas. 135 successfully scoring a coral on the L2. That's the lowest of those purple branches. You can score game pieces in that black trough area known as L1 for level 1, just like the Blue Alliance has done for 2 points each. We heard that sonar sound. Teams starting to make their way over to those cages. The longer the chain, the more points they'll gain. 829 Digital Goats hung on one of those deep cages. Closer to the ground is a lot harder to design around. So the teams are rewarded. They do need to remain up, elevated off the ground. 5 seconds after the match ends. So let's see how those scores total up at qualification match 3. Here's the Finn District Lafayette event. And your scores for that last match, your winners are the Red Alliance. Red Alliance taking it with a score of 95 over Blue Alliance is 72, a 23-point difference there. Red Alliance running away with 4 ranking points out of the available 6. Of course, 3 for winning the match, and both teams getting it for their ranking in the barge. Stick tight for qualification match 4.
Alrighty, everybody. It is time for qualification match number 4. Let's go ahead and meet our Red Alliance, starting with the team that's pretty super. It's Team 7457.
With students from Purdue Polytechnic High School in Indianapolis, Indiana, it's Super Duper Robotics.
And I can tell this alliance is about to get pretty wild. It's Team 3865.
They're here with their robot Drebel 2, the Reef Ranger. It's Riley Wildbots.
And rounding out our Red Alliance, it's Team 10021.
From Noblesville, Indiana, proudly sponsored by ECU, Gaylor, and Scooch, it's the Garin Catholic Golden Gears.
And over on our blue side of the field, I can see a team that is ready to fly into the competition. It is Team 7657.
From New Tech Institute in Evansville, Indiana, it's the Thunderbots.
And partnering up with them, I think I hear a signal, maybe an alert. It's Team 1741.
Their robot's name is Monarch. From Greenwood, Indiana, it's Red Alert.
And squaring it away for this match, it's Team 3494.
Proudly sponsored by the Raymond Foundation, IU Luddy School, Hand Ottomeyer Department of Education, and Smithville Charitable Foundation, it's the Quadrangles.
Alrighty, we have a green light on the field. Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, Reefscape.
Completely pre-programmed and autonomous for the first 15 seconds. Team 1741 Red Alert. Typically a high performer, but not to be outdone by 7457 Super Duper. These teams will go hand in hand and probably match each other for scoring. The Golden Gears sneaking in a potential game piece just shy on time. The remainder 2 minutes and 50 seconds is all tele-operated. Human player pick up the controllers and drive the robots that their team built over the last 9 weeks. 34-94 the Quadrangles, precisely placing a coral on the bottom piece of their reef. That's called L1 or trough, scoring 2 points for their alliance. That's not something to be overlooked, as teams need to fill up all sorts of the reef to score additional points for their alliance. If a game piece were to exit the field of play, it gets to return to where it bounced out. That's especially true for algae, those teal spheres, and that's all that's available during this match. Teams can pick up additional coral from their human player station and use that to reduce their cycle times. It's the time from picking up a game piece to put it anywhere into the field of play for a scoring position. Team 7457 continuing to demonstrate what those low cycle times look like as they pick up additional game pieces called coral and score them onto the top part of their coral reef for 5 points for each of those. Team 1741 continuing to keep those tight scores, scoring onto those purple branches in the reef where those points are most available. Red Alliance almost completely clearing their reef of algae. Again, those teal spheres are available scoring opportunities into the processor and the barge, which one of the Alliances has taken advantage of. 50 seconds remaining in the match. Scores currently 83 to 117 in favor of the Red Alliance. We might be looking at a new high score, but teams have 40 seconds remaining in the match to change their fate and see how those scores total up. Team 10-0-21, the Guerin Catholic Golden Gears, continuing to precisely place those coral pieces. For a rookie team, they've done exceptionally well. We're excited to see what they do as they continue in the Lafayette event. 20 seconds remaining. We just heard that sonar ping. Teams start to make their way over to those cages and get themselves elevated off the ground. 34-94, the quadrangle's in position. Red Alliance joining them super duper, already elevated off the ground. 5 seconds remaining for teams. They can't get points for parking alone in those taped off areas, but that's all the time we had for qualification match 4 here at the Finn District Lafayette event. Stick tight for those scores. And let's take a look at those scores for your last qualification match. Your winners are the Red Alliance, taking with a score of 150, our new event high score, but Blue Alliance just shy with 132. That is a unicorn match, meaning teams will get maxed out and get all 6 ranking points. That's 3 works for their hard work for winning the match. Both teams getting the autonomous barge, and that coral icon is for the coral ranking point. That means they filled up all the coral branches on 3 or 4 levels, depending on how they scored algae. So that's all 4 levels they got those 5 algae pieces on. Stick tight for qualification match 5, just moments away.
Hi guys, real quick before we get qualification match started, we have a quick announcement. 1741 is having a story time outside of the main entrance. They are going to be by the therapy dogs. It is going to be for all ages, and coloring pages will be included. That is from 12 to 12:30 right outside the main entrance, so go check it out if you guys have time.
Alrighty, everybody, let's go ahead and start with our teams on the Red Alliance. First up is a team that's out of this world. It's Team 461.
Mishawaka, for your Impact Award winners, it's Westside Boiler Invasion.
And adding some power to this alliance, it is Team 3147.
Hailing from Munster, Indiana, it's Munster Horsepower.
And rounding out our Red Alliance, ready to take a bite out of the competition, it's Team 1024.
Proudly sponsored by MSD Lawrence Township, Indiana Department of Education, and the Paul Jensen Grunfos Foundation, it's the Kilobytes.
Alrighty, and over on our Blue Alliance, we have 3 of our brand new rookies. Let's give a round of applause for all our rookie teams on our Blue Alliance today. Yeah, so starting off with this alliance, we have Team 10493.
With students from William Henry Harrison High School, it's Harrison Robo Warriors.
And partnering up with them is Team 10411.
Hailing from Fort Wayne, Indiana, it's the G-Code Generals.
And we have 2 teams that are ready to take a bite out of a competition in this match. It's Team 10492.
With students from Benjamin Bossy High School in Evansville, Indiana, it's Boss Bite Force.
We are good to go on the field. Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, Reefscape.
Entirely pre-programmed for the first 15 seconds, known as the autonomous period.
Slide.
Team 1024, the Kilobytes, making use of the game pieces that are available to them through the human player station to score additional game pieces for their alliance. All the blue Robians making their way off that starting line, getting those movement points which are only available in the autonomous game period. Red Alliance already going ham and knocking down all of the game pieces that started on the field of play and continuing to score as many game pieces as possible. The Blue Alliance, our rookie alliance, is continuing to play around their field as well, both of them featuring a simple ramp mechanism which is very reliable for picking up the game pieces from the Coral human player station and then delivering to that trough area. Red Alliance, although with some more higher developed designs, means that they're more prone to failure, but teams are able to make those higher Coral placing marks as they do so in this qualifications match. Blue Alliance already continuing to move around their field in a peaceful manner. Haven't touched any of those pre-started game pieces since they know they would only become hazards to their teammates if those algae were released around the field. Red Alliance seeing and feeling the effects of that. 3146 was stuck for just a little bit. That's monster horsepower. But their teammates were able to release them from that hold and allow them to continue scoring in the match.
Ooh.
60 seconds remaining and teams continuing to work on their scores. Scores currently 16-37 in favor of your Red Alliance. 461 Westside Boiler Invasion has a unique wrist mechanism which allows them to place on the top part of that station, actually using a pole-based design for contact measurement. You do need to get elevated off the ground and stay there after the conclusion of the match and contacting nothing to make sure they aren't resting. That's all we have for playoff qualifications match 5. Stick tight for those scores. And here are scores for your last qualification match. Your winners are the Red Alliance. The Red Alliance getting scores 75 to Blue Alliance's 26. They'll run away with 4 ranking points. That's 3 for winning and 1 for their hard work in the barge. No movements in the ranking quite yet. Stick tight for your next qualification match.
Alrighty, everybody, time for our next round of teams. Starting off here, our first team is showing off some pride for their alliance. It is Team 3487.
From Plainfield, Indiana, it's Red Pride Robotics.
Alrighty, and partnering up with them on the Red Alliance is Team 4982.
From Fort Wayne, Indiana, we have Olympus Robotics.
And rounding out our Red Alliance, trying to bring some luck to the team, it is Team 6956.
From Westfield, Indiana, there's Shamrock Botics.
Making our way over to the blue side of the field, swimming on over, our first team is Team 328.
From Mishawaka, Indiana, it's the Penn Robotics Golden Rooks.
And hoping to cause a storm with them is Team 3936.
From Michigan City, Indiana, it's Robo Blitz.
And another team that's hoping to be the GOAT is Team 7477.
From Mishawaka, Indiana, we have the Giddy Goats. To be worth more than teleoperated period. We have our autonomous period ending now, and after a brief delay, we are going to have students take the mantle and drive the robots themselves. We immediately have 328 knocking some algae, off of the reef, which is going to allow their teammates to score easier due to there being less obtrusions to putting the coral on the reef, and then they can also score those algae in both their processor and their net. They choose to score it in the processor, which allows the Red Alliance human player a chance to put it in the net, and they do score that. 74-77, their teammate, also grabbing a coral and putting it on the reef. 49-82 driving over on their side, while their teammate, 69-56, is going and grabbing a coral from their coral station, while their teammate, 34-87, is putting an algae in the processor. A lot of teams will choose to divide up the roles this way so that they are not kind of clogging up each other's avenues to go and get some coral, because otherwise that could affect cycle times. Back on the Blue Alliance, we have Team 328 grabbing some more algae, putting them in the processor as fast as they can. Red's human player tossing it into the net as fast as they can. We have 74-77. They unfortunately seem to have a coral stuck inside them, but at a minute left to go, we have 47 Red to Blues 46. It still is neck and neck. It could be anybody's match. 328 working to keep up with trying to score more algae in their processor. 34-87 going over and grabbing a coral from their coral station to help fill as many levels as possible on the red side. 49-82 also has a coral from the other coral station. This year there are actually 2 coral stations in which teams can pick up game pieces, which allows them to have 2 robots cycling at once without impeding each other's progress. 69-56 going up, attempting to score on L4, which during teleop is going to be worth 5 points in this match. Red's human player scoring more algae into the net as 328 is putting them into Blue's processor. At 75-70 for Red and Blue, we have 12 seconds left in this match. Our team's going to go over to climb. Some teams will, in this case, a lot of the teams will choose to stay out and keep scoring. We have 3, 2, 1. That is the match. Let's see our scores for qualification match 6. It is the Red Alliance that wins this match with a score of 101 to Blues 96. This was a very close match, and in this case, Coral made the difference. They have 3 ranking points to 1 ranking point. Each alliance is staying at their current ranks. Congratulations, Red Alliance.
While we wait for our next qualification match to begin, we just want to let you all know that the therapy dogs have shown up. They will be in the gallery, so if you go out the doors towards the entrance where you went in for the pits this morning, there will be some therapy dogs, and they will be there throughout the day. All right, qualification match number 7. Let's meet our teams. Starting off with one of our epic host teams, it is Team 1646.
From Jefferson High School, we have Precision Guessworks.
And partnering up with them, ready to strike some fear into the competition, it's Team 7198.
From Twin Lakes High School, it's the Fearsome Gears.
And hoping to blaze their way to victory, it is Team 6721.
From the Charles A. Tindley Accelerated School, we have Tindley Trailblazers.
Over on our blue side of the field, hoping to bring their tribe to victory, it is Team 4485.
From Danville Community High School, we have Tribe Tech Robotics.
And partnering up with them, hoping to be pretty legendary this match, is Team 9119.
From Northside High School, we have the Iron Legends.
And rounding out another one of our local area teams, it is Team 4272.
From McCutcheon High School right here in Lafayette, Indiana, it's Maverick Robotics.
All right, before we kick off this match, we have a lost iPhone 14 with a purple case and an orange keychain. If you think this may belong to you, please go over to Pit Admin. Our RFTAs are giving us the go-ahead. Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, rescape.
All right, starting off this match, we have all 6 robots on the field moving. That will, in fact, get them points just for moving during an autonomous period. We have Maverick Robotics going ahead and scoring on L4, which during autonomous period is going to be worth 7 points. That's 2 more points than during teleoperated period. In our teleoperated period, now we have the other Lafayette team, 1646 Precision Guessworks, also scoring on L4, while their teammate 7198 is working to knock those algae off of the reef so that it makes them easier to score. Red Alliance already having 3 coral up on their L4. Make that 4 here in just a second with 7198 and 1646 working together to score on that L4. Back on the blue side, we have 4485 also working to grab some algae, and it looks like they are going up to score that in their net. Some teams will choose to score that in the net, and some teams will choose to score that in the processor. It just depends on personal preference as well as team capabilities, as the net is a much higher goal. 9119 going over and grabbing some coral from their coral station and going over back to the reef to score it. We have 1 minute and 25 seconds left in this match. Currently, blue is winning 61 to 39, but it is still anybody's game with 1 minute and 20 left in the match now. Team 1646 unfortunately seems to have an algae stuck in their robot, but their teammate 7198 just helped them clear it out, and now they are both back in the game. 67-21 working to keep up with their coral in their robot. 1646 starting to work on that L3 because they need at least 5 coral on each level of the reef, including L1, in order to get that rank point, which will help them in alliance selections later. 4485 continuing to grab algae off of the reef at 46 seconds left. Blue 91 to Reds 56. They score another one in the Blues net. 67-21 going and grabbing another coral and putting it on L4. They seem to be attempting to stack up L4 as much as possible in order to maximize their points because L4 is the highest number of points you could score on the reef, 5 points. 42-72 going and scoring another on L4 while their teammate 4485 works to clear off their reef to help them score more. It seems they are also working towards that rank point. We have the sonar ping going off now with Blues 108 to Reds 74. Let's see how many robots can climb and get another climb rank point. In this case, 42-72 is up off the ground with their teammate parking next to them, which is going to get them an additional climbing rank point. At the very end of their match, 4485 scores 1 last coral on the reef at the end of qualification match 7. Let's see our results for qualification match 7. We have the Blue Alliance being the winner of this match. Let's see how it shook out rank point wise. We have Blue at 128 points to Reds 83. Impressive for a qualification match. Blue is going to get 5 out of those 6 ranking points, which is going to put them in ranks 4, 5, and 6 for now. Blue had a lot of coral that they scored on their reef as well at 56 coral points. Congratulations to the Blue Alliance.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and meet our teams for qualification match number 8. I'm going to start off with the Red Alliance here. First up, we have team 5402.
In their 10th season, it's Reckless Robotics.
And joining them on their alliance is team 4580.
In their 13th season, we have the Conductors.
And rounding off that Red Alliance, it's going to be team 829.
In their 24th season, it's the Digital Goats, in all caps.
All right, let's go ahead and head over to the Blue Alliance. Starting us off, it's team 9071.
In their 3rd season, it's Slicer Tech.
And joining them, it's team 4926.
In their 12th season, it's Galactic.
And rounding off that Blue Line, all right, let's get this match started. And drivers behind the line. 3, 2, 1, Reefscape.
Let's kick off qualification match number 8. We have red and blue robots moving towards their reef in this period to try and score some coral for some extra points in autonomous. We have 4926 going back and grabbing some more coral, which is more advanced for some teams because then they can have some ready to start the teleoperated period, which is now. We are starting off with blue at 16 and red at 9, so very close match still, of course. 5402 going up and scoring on L4 at the same time as their teammates, the Conductors, 4580. Unfortunately, 4580 does not make it, but their teammates, 5402, did, and they had time to go back and grab another coral and score on another L4 branch. Back on the Blue Alliance, we have 9071 attempting to grab some algae off so that their teammates can score. 3176 going up and scoring on L4. 9071 putting that same algae into the processor, which will get them points, and then Red's human player will be able to toss it into the net, which they make it for some points for their side. Team 9071 grabbing some more algae while their teammate Purple Precision is scoring another on L4. 829 has a unique wrist design, which allows them to score on L4 and pick up from the ground and score on L1, which is difficult for a lot of teams because that coral needs to be oriented sideways instead of vertical in order to slide onto that trough in L1. 3176 scoring on L4 at about 1 minute left in the match. We have blue at 78 and red at 49. We have both teams attempting to work towards that rank point with one level completely almost full, and that means that we need to have 4 levels with at least 5 coral on each level to get that rank point. Either that or they can work towards the cooperation bonus, which blue has done. We have team 9071 going ahead and going over to the barge zone in order to be able to get those points early. We have 4580 going over and doing the same thing to ensure their climb works, which will secure them a rank point if they are able to do that and have another team park with them. Team 5402 going over and grabbing some last-minute coral to score one more time on the reef before they possibly go join their teammates. Instead, they choose 3176 going over to the barge zone to also attempt to climb at 9071, joining their teammates in the barge zone. We have 829 being the robot staying out to help score at 0 seconds left in qualification match 8. All right, let's see our scores for qualification match 8. It's the Blue Alliance with a score of 142, which is very high to see early on in qualification matches. We have all 3 teams moving up in rank with 5 ranking points. Congratulations, the Blue Alliance.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and meet our teams for match number 9 of today. We're going to start off with our Red Alliance. We have 10, 4, 3, 4.
It's the Cy Bears.
And joining them on their alliance, it's Team 9530.
We have John Adams Robotics.
And rounding off that Red Alliance, it's Team 10172.
They're the Apex Archers.
All right, now we're heading over to that Blue Alliance. We're going to start off with Team 10029.
They're the Prototypes.
And joining them, it's Team 44-7.
They are Team Roboto.
And rounding off that Blue Alliance, it's Team 3494.
They're the Quadrangles.